What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so yesterday, of course, we saw Game 4 of the 2025 Eastern Conference Finals featuring the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers. And although the Knicks have home court advantage in this series, when you watch this series, you get the distinct impression that the Pacers are the better of the two teams. Not saying that it's impossible for New York to win this series, but after Game 4, it's looking real dicey. Looking real dicey, man. The Knicks are going to have to do something that rarely happens, and that is overcome a 3-1 deficit in the playoff series. The talk of yesterday, of course, was Tyrese Haliburton. Now, Tyrese Haliburton had, by his standards, and I think I mentioned it in my video for Game 3, he had a relatively quiet game offensively. He wasn't really much of a factor. Not at least not the factor that he normally is. And I don't know whether it was, well, I guess some of it was the combination of knowing that he didn't affect the game in a positive way that he should have for his team. Also, the added motivation that his father, who was banned from attending home games since that altercation he had with Giannis Antetokounmpo back in that first round series with the Bucks, his father now is back. The home crowd cheering on the Pacers, understanding that there's an assignment here, and that is to knock this Knicks team out, because if we let the Knicks win on our home floor, the next game, Madison Square Garden, and we can lose control of the series. The Pacers will not be denied. They win Game 4. Pretty much a three-pointer late by Obi Toppin sealed the deal for the Pacers, and they won 130-121. And they take a commanding 3-1 lead in this best-of-7 series. And like I said, I'm not saying that the series is over, but I have a hard time seeing the Knicks beat the Pacers 3 games in a row. Matter of fact, I don't think the Pacers have lost 3 games in a row since 2024. I don't think since at least December. Maybe I'm wrong in that, but I don't think I have seen them do that. But anyway, Haliburton had a historic triple-double. 32 points, 12 rebounds, 15 assists. And he's the first player in the history of the NBA playoffs, at least since they've been tracking these stats, to have a 30-point triple-double with no turnovers. As a matter of fact, he's just the third player in the history of the NBA to have a 30-point triple-double, period. The others being Oscar Robertson and Nikola Jokic. And he also had 4 steals in this contest, and he drilled 5 3-pointers, but it wasn't just him. The Pacers, of course, are a very, very loaded team. You have Pascal Siakam, who had 30 points and 5 rebounds, 11 of 21 from the floor. 3 of 4 from 3-point range and 5 or 6 at the line. And this was, of course, his second 30-point game of the series. Aaron Nesmith had 16 points. I think Nesmith was questionable to even play in this game, so he came out and scored 16 points. Andrew Nembhard did not have a great game, only 1 of 9 from the floor, but it didn't really matter. Miles Turner, 13 points in this contest. And I'm going to tell you something. Oh, yeah, and Benedict Mathurin had 20 points on 5 of 8 shooting, 10 of 11 at the line. I mean, we have all these guys that are capable of putting up double-digit scoring. It's not that they have a super team per se, but the Pacers have a lot of guys who you have to respect offensively to a great extent, and that stretches the defense pretty thin. And it keeps the defense on their toes much more so than other teams, when you might have to be consistently worried about maybe 2 guys, or but to be a team where you have to play lesser 2 evils, and then you overload defensively on one guy who was killing you one game, but then another guy gets in rhythm, and then all of a sudden this other guy gets 30 points. That's the Pacers. You have to kind of hope some nights that guys are just off. But I'm going to tell you what's killing the Knicks in this series, in my opinion. It's 3 things. Although not to the extent with the Timberwolves, part of the problem is turnovers. Last night, the Knicks had 17 turnovers. Usually when the Knicks win, they do a much better job of protecting the basketball. They keep the turnovers closer to around 10, 11, 12. And once you start getting up to 16, 17, 18, 19, that's when you're being, I know some of it's great defense, of course, but a lot of it can be sloppiness with as far as protecting the basketball. Another thing that's hurting the Knicks is that their defense just wasn't sufficient in this game. Scoring 121 points, as the Knicks did, is good enough for most nights. But the Pacers, as we know, they can be very explosive. And down the stretch, their defense just wasn't up to par. But what's really killing the Knicks is fast break points. The Knicks lost by 9. But their deficit as far as fast break points in this game was 22-9. So that's a 13-point margin. Without those fast break points, the Knicks win. Their series, there's a 65-23 deficit in fast break points for the Knicks versus the Pacers. That's the difference in the series right there. That's why the Knicks have to control the pace of this series. And the pace and tempo of these games, and control the pace of the series. Because if they don't, it's hasta la vista. They out of here. And they're going to be out of here game 5 if they don't play more Knicks basketball. For the New York Knicks, as I said, the problem wasn't necessarily offensive. Jalen Brunson had 31 points. Karl-Anthony Towns had 24 points and 12 rebounds. He suffered a lower leg injury, I think it was, down the stretch of this game, but I think he'll be all right. It's the playoffs. OG Anunoby had 22 points, 3 steals, 2 blocks. And Mikal Bridges had 17 points. Mitchell Robinson had 7 rebounds. Josh Hart had double-double, 12 points and 11 rebounds. And as a team, the Knicks shot 46% from the floor. The Pacers shot 51% from the floor. The Knicks shot 43%, 12 for 28 from downtown. The Pacers shot 41% from downtown. The Pacers attempted 32 free throws. The Knicks, 39. So this was a physical game, multiple players, especially when the Knicks got in foul trouble. But, at the end of the day, I think the Pacers are just too high. I think they're just too much for the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? I think the Knicks are a great team, but I don't see them winning this series, man. I think This is what I think is going to happen. I think that the Knicks are going to win Game 5, but then I think the Knicks are going to just kind of run out of gas in Game 6, man, and the Pacers are going to beat the hell out of them. You know, I don't know if it's going to be like one of these games where they just come out the box, Mike Tyson knockout, but one of those games more of attrition where the Knicks might be down only 4 at the first quarter and then 9 at halftime. And then the third quarter, it might end up ballooning to a 17-point deficit, and then they're down by 20-something the fourth. One of them types of games. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe the Knicks pull off one of the most spectacular comebacks we've ever seen. That's why this is the playoffs. Got to wait and see, you know. But anyway, tell me what you guys think.